All right, what's good, guys? Today I'm gonna be giving an advanced seatbelt pop tutorial because I've been getting a ton of requests in all my live streams and in my comments section. So I'm gonna be going over how to do a seatbelt pop today. All right, so first we gotta go over what tricks you actually need to do to complete a seatbelt pop. And so for that, you're gonna need a seatbelt. You're gonna know how to tweak the seatbelt, and you're gonna have to know how to do a hard flip. And if you don't know how to do any of those tricks, you go over to the trick guide, grab tricks, grabs, scroll down, and you got a seatbelt, right? Up on the right stick and right trigger, and then flip tricks. You got a hard flip right here. Now this trick can be a little like hard to do, so you want to practice this trick a lot. You want to get consistent with being able to do this trick. All right, so now that you know what tricks you need to use for the seatbelt pop, we're gonna start with the steps you can do to get comfortable with doing the motions of a seatbelt pop. We're not gonna throw everything all together. We're gonna take everything one step at a time. So first, you want to find an area with a lot of space. I recommend skate school because I got plenty of room to work with. You want to set down your marker. All right, after you set your marker, first thing you want to try to do is just get on your board, nollie or ollie, it doesn't matter, and you want to practice doing a seatbelt. And you should be able to land into a manual. So just practice doing a seatbelt, landing to a manual over and over again until you get really comfortable with that. All right, so now that you're comfortable with just doing a seatbelt in the air and being able to land into a manual after, you want to practice tweaking your seatbelt. And so a good way to do this, I'm going to put a clock up on the screen. You want to go clockwise from 12 o'clock down to about 5 o'clock. So clockwise from 12 to 5 o'clock, that's where you want to rotate your stick after doing an ollie and a seatbelt. And a little trick is don't grind your stick like around the corners. Like imagine you're trying to do the whole entire thing if you were trying to do like a manual. So you're not pushing your stick all the way to the right where you're gonna bend down. It will, if you do it softly, it will put you into a manual. All right, so now that you know how you're supposed to move your stick, we're actually gonna start practicing tweaking our seatbelt in a manual type of way. So first things first, don't try adding in any like spins or anything yet, because that's something that's more advanced. You can add that later. In my opinion, I think it looks better. Other people, it may not. But now we can start practicing the tweak. It's just 12 to 5 o'clock in a manual setting. That's how your board should be looking. And after you get that tweak in there, your thumb is in the perfect position to be in a manual and flick into a hard flip. And so a good way to practice flicking your hard flip at the right timing is just to go on flat ground, go into a manual, do a hard flip, not a varial heel, and just sit here and practice doing a hard flip over and over again. And eventually you'll be able to do something called bottom popping, which looks something like this. So just keep practicing that over and over again. And you're gonna mess up and it's gonna take time. Don't get frustrated. Like seatbelt pops literally took me about 2.5 days to learn to be able to do it like every 10 times. And I've been doing seatbelt pops for around maybe 2 weeks now, and I'm still not very consistent with them. I just feel like I could have a good explanation on how to do it and some advice that other people gave me, like Vibe Luck and Vibe Cora. So now that you've practiced everything, you can kind of try to start putting everything together, and it's gonna get really hard at this part. Like this is the hard part because this is where you have to figure out your timing. So it's a lot of trial and error. And a little tip that I can give for the timing is to as you can see, I'm not instantly going into a seatbelt because if I go instantly into a seatbelt, I take way too long to hit the ground. So you got to delay your seatbelt tweak just a little bit. So I'd say about as you're coming down, you can seatbelt. And you'll do a lot of 360 hard flips too. Don't worry about it. It happens to almost everybody. It's hard to get that right trick in there. All right, I know I was just yapping, but now that we have an idea of how to do the tricks that we need the right way for the pop, I'm going to show you guys how to actually put everything together. And this is probably going to be the hardest part, putting everything together and finding your perfect timing to do this pop. So, like I said, you want to delay your seatbelt a little bit, tweak, and then here is the hard part. You're going to pop your hard flip. And like I said, I can't really do it that consistently yet. But as you can see, I popped the hard flip, but my timing was off. And that means that I did it way too late. That's why I didn't get any airtime and I didn't explode. Because if you're exploding, let me try to explode real quick. Alright, if you're exploding like that, that means that you're popping your hard flip too early. And that's actually a good sign because that means that you're doing all the right motions you need to do. All you have to do is just to wait a split second longer to pop that hard flip and you'll do the seatbelt pop. So we're just going to practice go in a straight line, tweak, hard flip. Sorry, I suck at doing skate tricks while I'm talking. And just like that, you just did a seatbelt pop. And so once you've got pretty much all of that down, you can really it gets really easy to figure out how to do everything else, like adding a spin into the mix like this. Or a flip too. Sorry, it's kind of habit just to flip, but you get the idea. You'll learn how to flip. You can do the flip pretty late since of the height you get. Just to add a little tip at the end, because I know I was supposed to put this in the middle of the video somewhere. Let's hope everybody watched till the end. If you guys look at the trick meter, you can see a pretty good idea of how to move your stick. I wish I could explain it a little better. I'll try to throw pictures throughout the video to explain better and so you guys can see what to do. But yeah, man, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, you guys can just comment down below. And yeah.